Hello and welcome to Moon Maiden Tarot. Today we're going to be looking at what messages you need to hear from your ancestors. I want to take a minute to thank you guys so much for being here. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. And also be aware that my videos are posting every Wednesday at 2 p.m. So make sure to check in regularly and you can get a pick a card reading every week. Okay, so like I said, we're doing the messages you need to hear from your ancestors, and we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. I'll give you a moment to meditate and decide which pile resonates with you. If you would like to skip this part, please look at the timestamps below to decide which pile you would like to choose. And if not, please stick around for the meditation before we jump into your reading. Okay, so let's get started with pile number 1. Okay, pile number 1. You have chosen this wonderfully white and blue with silver painted rock. And just so you know, I painted all of these myself. So if you're interested in receiving a painted rock, please let me know. I have many that I will post in my Instagram, so you can add me there as well. Okay, so let's dig into the cards here. I want to put this somewhere you can see it. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so looking at the cards, I split them into sections this time instead of reading them one card at a time and going through them individually. I chunk them together, so I put these two together, these two, and so on. And this is actually how I dealt them initially. This is how they came out from the deck. So that's why I like attaching these two together with how they naturally lined up from how I picked them. Okay, so when we look at the first section here, we see that your ancestors are telling you that this is a time for you to focus, meditate, and work on inner work and self-care. So that's what we're getting from the Hermit and the Mask. So the Hermit is the meditation and self-care, and the Mask is saying to let your guard down and not worry about, keeping up with appearances and worrying what other people think. Your ancestors are also telling you that there could be someone who is lying to you, and keeping your distance at this time will just expose that person and kind of let those lies come to the surface without you really having to get involved. And another main message from this section is telling you to listen to your inner guidance. Then we move on to the second section. So we have the counting coup and precipice. So this is saying that if somebody is lying, you could sort of call them on their bluff. You don't have to outright say it, but you could just give them that distance, and they may not be able to follow through on some of the things that they said, or some of the things that they may have said about themselves is going to, really come to the surface and come to the truth at this time. So this card, the precipice, is about taking risks. It's a gamble. It also means that this is a time to stand up for yourself and what you believe in. And ultimately, it's going to pay off in the end. You need to go with your gut instincts, and you might feel like you're jumping into something without much thought, but you'll actually end up overcoming these challenges with grace. Next, we have the third section. So the giveaway dance and the two paths. And the giveaway dance is in reverse, and this is the Six of Shields or the Six of Pentacles. This is saying to reassess what makes you happy. So are there some one-sided relationships or energies in your life that are no longer serving you? If so, make sure that you identify these and realize that, it's not a healthy thing. And maybe it's time to no longer give in to those relationships or energies anymore. So your ancestors are telling you to choose one of the two decisions that are being presented to you as well. You might be making a choice between two options, and you have to stick with one at this point. And even though they may be appearing to go in the same direction, the journey that each of them is going to be will be quite different, but you're not going to know that until you definitively choose one and start going down it. And when you're looking at the one-sided relationship or energies that are in your life, you're being told to obviously choose the one that's reciprocal, the one that's balanced and there's some give and take there. Not just the one where you're always giving. Where you're always giving and you're not receiving. And at the same time, you don't want to be the person who is always taking and never giving. Okay, so it's time to really reassess those types of situations in your life. They might be relationships, they might be, ways that you deal with certain energies or emotions, and it's really time to dig into that and make some positive changes there. Then we're going to look at the fourth section, which is honor in reverse, the Four of Pipes, or the Four of Wands in the traditional deck, and rebel. Okay, so this is telling me that when you first make your decision, you might feel like you're being eccentric or acting out of character, but it's actually necessary to do so in order to achieve your goals. You might have some self-doubt or low self-esteem, and those that you could normally rely upon might not be there to help you, right? Like you might not have that community that you thought you did, because it may have ended up being some of those one-sided relationships. So this is a time to change those old ways of thinking and those old ways of behaving or dealing with these types of people. Okay, so this means that you're arguing for a cause and something that you want to leave a positive impression upon when you leave this world. And the ancestor that's reaching out to you is saying, go with your heart. Don't do things because other people are telling you to do them. And don't make the same mistakes I did. Don't surround yourself with the negative people, those one-sided relationships, because you thought that that's what was going to bring you happiness and success and drive you further in life. It really isn't. And, learn from my mistakes. Learn from your ancestors. Learn from your history. This isn't a pattern that you want to repeat. Okay, and then we look at the 5th section, which is the Moon card and Lilith. So this is telling me that, through going through this difficult decision, the isolating time, reassessing relationships, and making some positive changes, everyone's going to respect you for it overall in the end. Even your enemies are going to look up to you. It's similar to in the Native American belief with the wolves here howling at the moon. So the wolf is seen as like the trickster. The negative side of the wolf, he's the trickster. The positive side is that he's humble. So you might have to humble yourself in some way. And that's going to bring you deeper happiness. And those people that were out to manipulate you and, were only using you for your status or your money or what have you, they're going to come to actually have a deeper part of respect for you. And, just like the wolf, when it's even though it's the trickster, it howls at the moon. It shows respect for the moon and those energies. Okay, so your ancestors are saying, take control of your life and act now. You have to do this right now. It's very important that you make these decisions for yourself at this point in time, because it's not going to last forever. You are going to have to go against the status quo, and there's also no direct answer. But the energies that you feel and the true happiness from within you that you feel, that's what you have to keep pursuing. Okay, and this means that you may have to take the road less traveled, but that's okay, because the journey is going to be far more fulfilling, and the end result is going to be that much more of a success. You're going to be like paving a new path that no one's taken before. Maybe none of your ancestors have taken this path before, and it's really going to be a beautiful thing. Okay, so your ancestors are telling you that they're trying to communicate with you through your dreams. So pay attention to your dreams. Use a dream interpretation device. Like after you have a really in-depth dream, wake up, and look it up. Look up what those things mean, because your ancestors are trying to send you messages through your dreams at this time. So another thing that they're really stressing is the meditation. I'm hearing that from on this side of the 5th sector and the 1st sector. So that's a really important message that's coming through. They're also saying change is inevitable. So, learn to roll with the punches to some extent. And again, going back to the wolves and the story of the wolves, is there's an old Cherokee saying of there's an evil and a good wolf that lives within each and every person. And you get to decide which of those wolves you want to feed. So which one you want to pay your attention to is going to be the type of person that you become. So be really mindful of that. Do you want to keep staying in these energies of the one-sided relationships where no one really has respect for you and you're being used? Or do you want to move above that and through that and become a much better, stronger person, even if you have to take the road less traveled? Okay, so that's all for the tarot cards for now. Now I'm going to pull some hidden messages for you. Oh. Be cautious. Okay, so be cautious of those that you hang around with. Be cautious of where you are putting your energies. You are enough. You have these gifts within yourself. You have this rebellious spirit. You just have to let it shine through. Don't look back. Don't make the same mistakes that I did. Don't look at the past. Look at the future. You have control of what's going to happen. You got this. Okay, so your ancestors are cheering you on. They're saying it might be difficult, but you got this. You have it in you. You might be someone special that they, would never be able to achieve this. Maybe you have some gifts and skills that make this possible for you that was maybe not possible for them. Okay, and cut it out. They're telling you to cut out any negativity, any negative thought processes, any people who are not serving you, and staying within that kind of one-sided energy source. Okay, so again, it's saying be cautious and cut it out at the beginning and ending of their messages, which is really interesting. So yeah, make sure you pay attention to your dreams, and your ancestors are there cheering you on. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please remember to like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Let me know if this resonated with you. I really want to hear back from you guys, and also let me know what kind of a pick-a-card reading you'd be interested in. And if you're interested in these painted rocks, I also have like a whole bunch of them, so just contact me and let me know, and I can send one to you. Okay, so thank you so much again. Have a good one. Bye. Okay, and now we have group number 2. So group number 2, what are your ancestors trying to tell you? Okay, so group number 2. So this time I separated them into sections instead of going one card at a time. So I connected these two, these two, these two, these two, and these two together, because when I pulled them from the deck, this is how they were laid out. So this is how they were drawn sequentially. So I like to keep it that way because I feel like these are a message within themselves. These two are connected. So I've made them into 5 different sections. So we're going to start with section 1. So section 1 is telling you that you need to take time to slow down. Slow down as the world is quickly changing around you. In order to do that, one of the ways that you can do that is through meditation. So through slowing your mental brain down, because you might be feeling quite mentally overwhelmed at this time. You want to become like the observer or the scout here. You want to be able to slow things down and kind of live in the present, and as well as what the guru is, right? It's like focusing on the now and letting go of things that are not in your control. So this is, your ancestors are also telling you not to start any projects at this time. This is the time to connect deeper within yourself and have a deeper understanding of your own spiritual gifts and powers. Okay, so that's the first message that your ancestors want to tell you. In this second section, I'm hearing that it's a very good time to seek counsel, especially spiritual counsel. So it's a good time to develop new skills, maybe learn from, your elders or your parents. And as well, you could also watch some documentaries about, some of the things that you're deeply interested in that you want to learn more about. It's also a good time to build your social network. So like I said, speaking to someone that could be your mentor in whatever field that you're interested in. And I'm hearing more so that if you are looking for more of like a spiritual path, this is a really good time to find some kind of a spiritual mentor. So you can build your social network. If you're not looking for the spiritual aspects, you can look for, like a career mentor or something like that, but hold off on, starting any projects at this time. Just start to like get that ball rolling and building your network for the type of people who you can have as like a support group when you decide to move on to that next step. And yeah, the mental clarity will come through the meditation here, as well as connecting and talking to others about some of the experiences you're having. So maybe you're experiencing some type of spiritual enlightenment and you're feeling like a little crazy because of it. It's uncomfortable. Maybe you've never had something like this before, like maybe an out-of-body experience, or like weird synchronicities are happening all the time. So now is the time to just reach out and talk to people about that. You can even do it anonymously if you are feeling uncomfortable exposing your identity. There's so many different ways you can reach out to people online now, and this is a good time to do that. And again, what I'm getting from this is there's going to be like new spiritual truths. This wheel is like opening a door for you, especially a spiritual door. And those in positions of power are actually, like willing to open more doors for you at this time. And the last message I'm getting from this is mentorship. Okay, so that it all kind of falls within itself. Okay, the blades here is like how you can be multi-purposeful. So this blade is like an axe, but it's also a peace pipe, and it's used multifunctional. And right now it's telling you to use it for like your spiritual means and your gifts of sharing a spiritual experience with other people. Then our third section here is about education. So education is the key right now. You want to ignite the types of impulses that you're having and not use them rashly. You might be getting incredibly excited about these spiritual experiences after you start talking to people about it. It might be like this really exciting anticipation that you begin to feel. And that's great. That's a really amazing feeling. That's one of the most, beautiful things about going through a spiritual enlightenment. So at this time, it's saying that you're putting in this groundwork to help you achieve long-term goals. So like doing those networking, finding your mentors, finding people who are like-minded like you and think the same way spiritually and ideologically. You need to find those types of people in your life right now. So I'm feeling a deep sense of earth energy. So like Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, that could either be an ancestor speaking to you. You could be that energy. The mentor that you get or will receive in the near future, receive messages and learning from in the near future, could be an earth sign. It's a deep, deep earth energy coming from both of these cards. And also know that this is a very pure, loving essence. So that's why you're going to get this like newfound type of excitement that's going to just like bubble over within yourself. You're going to feel so inspired, and so it's going to be so invigorating and refreshing, and I'm so excited for you to go through this experience. So yeah, it's a time to deepen some of the spiritual practices that you've been curious about. Then we move on to the fourth section here. So it's the Three of Pipes, or Three of Wands in reverse, joint effort, as well as the Prisoner. So this is saying that, you know, it's really exciting that you have the spiritual experience that's happening and the excitement that's going to come with it. But also be aware that with spiritual enlightenment also comes like an upheaval of past and repressed emotions. So this is what the fourth section is talking about. So you might have some, like past traumas that are going to come to surface that you didn't even know existed. And a lot of this energy is talking about you playing the victim, or someone playing the victim, maybe somebody that you hurt. And it's actually going to be this amazing time of forgiveness. So either you're going to reach out, or they're going to reach out, or even just deep within you, because you've enhanced your spiritual journey and your spiritual awareness, you're going to be able to forgive them or forgive yourself much easier at this time. And that's going to make you come out of the mental imprisonment that you're feeling right now. And so just like this prisoner, it's like you can leave this box at any time. You know, there's like these two symbols here at the bottom are supposed to represent like you actually having a lot of pathways and doorways open to you. Just like the wheel, there's so much potential and opportunities for you just around the corner, but you need to get over some of your insecurities and the forgiveness that you deeply need right now in order for those paths to come to light. Okay, so that's kind of your blockage right now, but I see it as something that's going to be like kind of minor. You're kind of making it like a bigger deal in your head than what it is. And so going through these mental practices of meditation, reaching out to other people, building that social network of some strong, like pure love energy people, you're easily going to be able to shift out of this kind of victim blaming mindset. And you're going to be able to forgive yourself or forgive that person or however that resonates with you very easily. Then we move on to this fifth section. Okay, so then once you release these barriers, you'll easily be able to manifest whatever you are looking for. So the shield's energy is actually similar to like when warriors would make a shield with their family emblem on it. That's kind of like what this is. So this is literally your ancestors telling you like, we are here for you. And these 5 feathers mean that they're the different directions. So it's, north, east, south, west. And the 5th one is within you. So they're saying, that these spirits of your ancestors are actually all around you right now. They're surrounding you with their loving energy, as well as they're a part of you. Their DNA still resonates within you biologically as a person. And so they're not just with you, in a spiritual sense. They're with you physically, And once you start to realize some of the power you have as a spiritual being, you're going to be able to manifest, wealth and love and happiness on a level that you've never even imagined before. So really push yourself to engage in these new spiritual practices. You're going to be pleasantly surprised by them. And make sure that you don't get conned into anything, just like a side note. You shouldn't have to pay for any type of spiritual experience. That's not what spirituality is all about. Like a true spiritual path is you going out and seeking enlightenment and getting it from mentors who are willing to give it because that's their life purpose. So those are the types of people you need to find, and that's the type of energy that you're going to benefit from, like, really greatly. Also, it's telling me that you need to cut down on your expenses on all fronts. That's what the economy is saying. So don't seek out material things. This is not a time for material advancement whatsoever. This is a time for spiritual advancement. So again, do not take any material risks or investments. Just look at how you can grow immensely as a spiritual being, which really is far, far, far more important than the material things ever will be, ever were, or ever will be. Okay, and they're also telling you that your energy and your skill set and who you're going to become inspires them. They're so excited for you. That's why they're surrounding you. You know, some of the other messages are like, ancestors communicate through synchronicities or your dreams or things like that. But no, yours are actually just like around you all the time in a loving way, like trying to guide you and cheer you on, like all around you and within you too. Like I said with the DNA thing. So that's really beautiful. I love that energy. Okay, so that was your tarot reading. Now I'm going to pull some cards from you to hear what some further messages are that your ancestors want to tell you. Okay, I got 2 here. So the answer is near. So maybe you don't have to go far to find your spiritual guru, or those mentors that you're looking for. And remember, the first step is to slow things down and do some meditation, do like self-reflection, and just slow like the quickness of everything that's happening right now. The world is actually changing quite quickly. Regardless of the pandemic that's happening, it's actually causing things like socially to move in a way that it probably should have a long time ago, right? And so it's good to take this time to first find the answer within yourself. Like, it is that close to you, right? And that's where your ancestors reside. It's literally within you. That's where your answers are, okay? Keep calm. No need to worry. You're being showered with love. If it's either from your ancestors or it's from these mentors who are going to reach out to you and you're going to build this beautiful, long-lasting relationship with them, you have nothing to worry about. So don't stress. Keep calm. You are a huge success. That's awesome. So yeah, like with getting to the end goal here, you're going to be able to manifest things in a way like you never have, and maybe a way that your ancestors have never been able to either, because they haven't had the types of opportunities that you did. And so use your skill set, use those spiritual gifts you have, and that's what's going to make you a success, not just materially, but on a like that much deeper level of happiness and spiritual enlightenment. That's what's really going to bring you success. Your dreams will come true. Okay, so I think you're really going to find like your life purpose throughout this time, and that's what's going to make your dreams come true. So whatever you've been wanting to do, like career-wise or just, just in a spiritual sense, like it's going to happen for you. You're going to be able to find it after you go through this. And like I said, you're going to be able to manifest like no other, like you never have been able to before. So anything that you want to come, as long as it comes from a place of love and purity and, you know, the betterment of for all, it's going to happen. You're not going to have any problems there. Happiness is within. That's so crazy. So yeah, like I was saying, your ancestors are there. They're literally a part of your DNA, you know, and they're all around you, and also your spirit is within you. That's where your happiness is, like, that's the root of your happiness, is with your spirit, right? So this is a really beautiful message. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I also wanted to mention that I do make these little pet rocks, I guess you could call them. So if you're interested in one, just let me know. But yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this reading, and please, like always, you know, leave me a comment down below. Let me know if this resonated with you, if you've been feeling this type of energy lately. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. Alright, have a good one. Bye! Okay, and now we have pile number 3. Pile number 3. Let's see what your ancestors are trying to tell you. Okay, so pile number 3. Just so you know, this time I'm not going to be reading them card by card. I actually split them into sections. So we have section 1 with these 2 together, section 2 with these 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the reason I did that was because when I drew the cards, they came out in this order. So I first did the tarot deck, and then I did the oracle deck, and this is how they were drawn sequentially. So I always like linking them up together to give me a deeper understanding of the messages that are coming through. Okay, so we're going to start with the first section here, with the warrior vessels and competitiveness. So what this is telling me is that you are a natural leader. You have a lot of grace when you are put under pressure, and you are actually quite a balanced person, but you are seeking more from life. Like, you have a competitive attitude. You have kind of this, like, yeah, like a warrior, young energy type spirit going on that you're kind of craving more from your life right now. And yeah, I think that you're a good leader because of this competitiveness, but you also have diplomacy. So you can really make good decisions, and you make them for the betterment of all, and people really respect you for that. You can also be seen as being quite attractive, and you have immense potential due to your character, and your potential has a wide range. You know, it's spiritual, physical, emotional, mental. You really are the, like, complete package. Okay, so you're incredibly caring, charming, gentle, and attractive, like I said. So many people are drawn to you, but I'm feeling like you're just not feeling, you know, entirely whole with your life right now. And the warrior vessels is really aligned with the water signs. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. These could be either, you know, the ancestors that are reaching out to you. You could be these signs, or these could be signs of people who are deeply influential in your life and look up to you immensely. So take it how it resonates. I also see from this that your ancestors are trying to communicate with you through synchronicities. Okay, so if you always see like 1111, 111, 222, you know, I even have seen like, you know, when it's like 123, 1234, 1001, like those types of things. Whenever you look at the clock, it's like the synchronicity that lines up, or not even just the clock, but just like around, you know, your daily experiences, your daily life. You're always seeing these synchronicities. Those are your ancestors telling you that you're on the right path. And they're trying to tell you to, you know, like keep going, and this is us. Like, we're here, we're watching over you. You're not alone. Okay, now we're going to look at the second section. And this is telling me that you could actually receive some bad news fairly soon. And it's potentially like your competitiveness that's going to get you in trouble. So a way that you can avoid this is to stay focused on the compassionate side of yourself and the positive assistance that you try to have onto others. So don't give in to temptations at this time. You might have big dreams about being someone or going somewhere, and your ancestors are saying that it's not going to work out. So don't do it. You know, hold off right now. This is not the time for it. So you could be acting out on your emotions rather than your logic and your rationality, you know, like your diplomacy, like I was saying earlier, with having those like amazing skill sets right now, and you're actually becoming more imbalanced by giving in to these emotional temptations. Okay, now the third section, so we have the 10 of Shields, Harvest, which is 10 of Pentacles in reverse, and the Full Moon, Water, or Fulfillment. So this is telling me that your ancestors are saying, make sure that you research before you execute any type of plan or project, and to, you know, be kind of skeptical of people and things that are coming as opportunities to you right now. And by resisting them at this time and foregoing events, you know, like canceling plans, especially during the pandemic, right? Like making sure you self-isolate and you just take care of yourself, and you not only do that for yourself, but for the betterment of society. You know, don't go hang out with your friends just because you miss them. You know, you can still set up like Zoom dates, stuff like that, and just keep practicing those things, because they're actually going to pay off in the end big time, especially emotionally. Okay, so what's really being emphasized here is a need to marry your spiritual and physical worlds. So they might be seeming kind of distant right now. So you might view the spiritual as something that's like very fantastical and like out of this world, and it's really not being connected to your physical realm right now. You're not making that connection clear, and you might see the physical world as being too cold-hearted and, you know, not that loving spiritual type of energy that you feel when you get in those types of fantastical mindsets. So make sure you take time now to, you know, find the beauty in the everyday things and be thankful for what you have. And remember that that is also spirituality. You know, those are also spirits communicating with you. Okay, so this is an opportunity for you to grow. Your ancestors are saying that they're, you know, supporting you and they're around you at this time, and they, you know, walk amongst us. Just like in the Native American belief that there's spirits all around us all the time, right? And your ancestors are saying now that they just want you to acknowledge them and let them in, you know, and they'll help you get through this emotional time in your life and not give in to them temptations that are, you know, ultimately not going to be good for you. And they're saying, you know, we're here for you. Like, we see the struggles that you're going through, but, you know, just talk to us and let us know what's going on, and we'll support you. We'll help you get through this and will help show you, the way. And like I said, when you see those synchronicities, just know that that's them saying like, hey, I'm listening. I'm here. I know what you said. I know how you feel. Even if you don't like physically say it out loud, you can just say it to yourself in your head. They're listening, they want to help you. They want to see you grow and become a beautiful, wonderful person who's happy, deep from within, not just on the surface. They want to see you like truly happy emotionally. So just know that they're around you at this time, and they're not going to give up that easily, right? They love you. Then we have the fourth section, so the sled, which is the chariot, as well as passion. Okay, so this is a time to self-reflect, and it'll give you a clear understanding of your role in a given situation. So yeah, like I said, overcoming those obstacles are going to happen through determination, focus, and willpower. Okay, and you're going to receive some of that strength through communicating with your ancestors, because they have an immense amount of love for you that they're willing to just, give at your disposal. And once you take the time to really figure out what makes you happy and what you need at this moment in your life, your true emotions will start to surface. And you're going to have a deeper passion and drive to attain the types of goals and relationships that really make you happy. So don't be afraid to try new things. It's going to give you more ambition, motivation, and self-control. Okay, so your passions here are actually like a really positive thing, and you're going to use them on a type of spiritual journey that you're going to go on, and that's going to help you marry those two, the physical and the spiritual realms, in a way that you were unable to do before. Then we have the fifth section with the 8 of Shields, Sand Painter, and Reputation. Your ancestors are telling you that you need to set goals and prioritize what's important to you. So you need to put your efforts in the right place in order to see results. So maybe you're like, kind of spreading yourself too thin right now. You're doing multiple things, thinking that it's going to lead to happiness, but none of them really are making you happy. And yeah, this is also a time to like bring that balance back within your life, and make sure you're not becoming too extreme in one area, making you neglect the others, right? So don't become too extreme in the material world and then neglecting your spirits and your spiritual self, and don't become too obsessed in the spiritual realm but then neglecting the physical world and your physical self. Okay, so your ancestors are saying, just focus on one day at a time, and the inner wisdom from them is going to, come through just through you kind of having like these self-prep talks to yourself. It's actually going to be partially like messages that your ancestors are telling you, especially when you see those synchronicities. It's like, yes, that's it, you get it. This is what you need to be going through with. Okay, and then they're saying once you do this, your hard work is going to pay off. And by keeping this balanced life, you're going to increase your reputation. So again, the physical and spiritual parts of yourself, the emotional, mental, all of that is going to come back into balance. Your ancestors are also saying that they're watching you closely because they see your potential. They know that you're this warrior, that you have these amazing skills, the leadership skills, the charisma, the diplomacy, compassion, the attractiveness, all of those things. And they're rooting for you, and they want you to leave a legacy in their family honor, something that you can all be proud of. And I see that that's what's going to happen, right? Your reputation is just going to shine through, and you're going to make them so happy, and you're going to really find that deep inner happiness within yourself as well. So that's a really great message. So yeah, that's all for your tarot reading. Now let's look at some more messages that your ancestors are trying to tell you right now. You are protected. Aw, that's so sweet. See, they're watching over you. They want you to know that you don't have to act out on those emotional things, and that your spiritual side is very strong. And they're around you. They're protecting you. Love yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. You know, we all have these like temptations and urges and things that we know aren't good for us. And just remember that you have some really amazing qualities in yourself, and you need to acknowledge those more and be thankful for, you know, the gifts that you've been given. All the types of gifts, like spiritual, mental, emotional, physical. Remember that those are gifts that were given to you by your ancestors and by spirit, right? So cherish them and acknowledge them and say thank you for them. You are divine. That's awesome. So yeah, it's the same thing, right? Like, you're this amazing energy that, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, right? Like, you have all these amazing qualities within yourself. You are actually so divine, and they see that, yeah, like this amazing potential within you, and they're so excited to see what types of challenges you're going to overcome, and the type of person that you're going to be, and the legacy that you're going to leave behind. You are free. Okay, so those emotional you know, like roller coaster right now that you're going through, just remember that you are the one who controls that, you know? You're the one who decides when you can let those go. And when you do, you're going to be free from those impulses that you're just acting on without really following through. Be present. Okay, so focus on things that you have in your life right now. Don't focus on the past. Don't focus on the future. Focus on the right now. Focus on the drives and the passions and these amazing qualities that you have that are going to help you, you know, see the commonalities that lie within the spiritual and physical world that you're having a hard time, you know, putting together right now. If you focus on being present, it's going to become really clear, you know, that they might exist on different dimensions, but they're both in the same realm. You know, we're able to see and feel spirits, you know, and they can manifest themselves in our physical world. So be present, be mindful of that. And you're going to see the synchronicities come up when you're in those moments of divinity or the now, you know. That's what's really important at this time. That's what your ancestors are telling you to focus on. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this reading. I really loved giving it, and I feel like this is a great message. I'm really excited for the person you are and the journey that you're going to go on. And yeah, I hope that you liked it. Please leave a comment down below and let me know. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. I also just wanted to focus on these little hand-painted rocks. I actually made them myself, and so I'm going to make an Instagram post of these rocks and the ones that I have right now. And so if you're interested in getting one, please message me and just let me know. And yeah, I really look forward to us sharing this moment again, and you come back again for another pick a card. Just so you know, they are going to be posted every Wednesday at 2 p.m. And make sure that you hit the notifications so you're first to know that when it becomes live. And yeah, so thank you so much for being here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. All right, bye.